This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, August 21st, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern, at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 2 p.m. California time. I'm going to be doing a webinar today, Sunday, with P as in Paul, A as in Apple, O.com, PAOweb.com, PAOweb, WEB.com. This webinar is about $20. We'll be discussing some real interesting things there. Life is our greatest teacher. We all, some of us kind of know that. I think a lot of people take it for granted. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. Frank Zappa. Life has this mysterious, seductive way of showing us how deeply powerful, creative, and incredibly penetrating we are. This world wants to be penetrated by you, by your energy, your creativity, your love, and your consciousness. This is why it is here. This world is here to experience all of us, so that in return, we get to experience it. This is the cosmic setup, and how we can learn, grow, and evolve as infinite soul gods, traveling through life on our mysterious journey home. We are not just passive observers, watching our lives flutter by. We are also not just actors on life's stage, playing out these random personalities and the garden variety of roles handed down to us. We are that indescribable expansion and contraction of consciousness that is weaving itself in between. We are the blend of the observer, the observed, the actor on the grand stage. We are the energy that's creating our actions. And this detached observer who is watching it all magically unfold. We are this interwoven space, this timeless spiritual essence that is beyond all rational comprehension. It can be tricky at first to understand that this divine interwoven mystery is what and who we really are. We've been programmed and imprinted to believe we are either this body or this soul, that we either spiritual or material beings. Yet if we look with a penetrating, piercing mind into the core infrastructure of our human reality, we will see that we are both. This universe is just too big not to contain both. And whenever we begin to identify ourselves with anything other than all three sides of the icon, we needlessly suffer. Whatever is given to you is precious. If it was not so, existence would not have given it to you. Okay. Suffering is not always bad. It is the most wonderful indicator that we are not being receptive, open, and available to the universe. Thank God there's something to notify us when we are off target. Our suffering, however, is not to be taken too personally. Suffering just means the ego, our individuated mind, has got us convinced that it's in charge and running the entire show. It is a master at pretending that our lives are something smaller than the divine cosmic immensity that is truly is. The mind has got to, it's got us hypnotized into believing its minuscule separate version of reality is true. It's like a colony of ants trying to convince every human being that their world is the only system that exists on this planet. And the most important one everyone should be focusing upon. All suffering stems from forgetting our connection with the God source, which originates from a deeper complaint we have within ourselves that says life should be different than the way it is. The complaining ego doesn't trust that the all-intelligent, divinely creative God source knows exactly what it is doing. Our ego maintains its kingly or queenly suffering state because it stopped being curious about this awesome divine matrix of life. It has forgotten about our spiritual freedom, power of pure consciousness, and our ability to choose what really matters. Everybody is carrying around hundreds of masks. Just watch. Talking to your lover, your boss, or with a person who is not going to fulfill any of your desires. Just watch your face. If you need their help the next day, just watch your face. Is there a moment in your life where you drop all your masks with everyone? Oh, sure. God exists within everything, including your awareness right here, right now. At the deepest level of reality, this universe has given us an opportunity to discover this connection with the divine, which creates total freedom, love, empowerment, and enlightenment in our lives. We are given an opportunity while we are in a human body to create whatever we wish to, including transcending every level of suffering, life mastery, and mastery over our minds. Inner mastery is available to anybody who truly believes it's possible to be free from any type of suffering forever. Inner mastery is available to anybody who truly believes it's possible to be free from any type of suffering forever. Some people, however, feel they need to suffer more before they are ready for liberation, while others believe they have had enough and are not willing to tolerate living in some version of inner conflict another day. The most interesting thing that has been discovered is that the people who are truly honestly finished with their own personal suffering toleration project suddenly create an inner shift in their consciousness that has the most fascinating dimension to it. They begin having a fully open, consistently receptive, welcoming quality to life, which behaves much like a cosmic womb, continuously ready and willing to give birth to a deeper connection with the God source inside. If we look deeper and begin exploring what exactly is this cosmic womb, we see that it is the foundation for all matter and antimatter. It is the awesome, supremely empty, universal blackboard of which all consciousness and all its content fall upon. In a more spiritual context, you might say the cosmic womb is the home base where the creative, all-loving God source abides. The womb is the feminine aspect of God, and all matter and consciousness is the male aspect. Just as you and I came from a womb, everything in the universe was also born out of a womb as well. It is what existed before anything else, before the first thought, before there was any empty void in existence. When we begin personally exploring this 100% pure emptiness of existence, we can often first encounter negative states of emotional sensation, such as lack, apathy, loss, or even depression. This is part of the normal emptying out procedure. This is simply a clearing of the ego's list of negative limiting beliefs it's been gripping onto. Through a persistent curiosity, devotion, meditation, prayer, or spiritual practice of investigating this purely empty, cosmically connected, womb-like space inside us, we soon discover something radically divine, absolutely precious, abides at the core. At the core of our inner cosmic womb is absolute freedom, true inner peace, and an indescribable self-love. A deeply penetrating awareness in the connection to all the power and energy in this universe. You may realize this must sound quite outrageous and unbelievable. Yet when you experience it for yourself, you'll see that's precisely what it is. Cosmic womb is your sacred entity point, sacred entry point, your spiritual gateway to instantly commune with the divine. When we are inside this absolutely pure empty space, the most direct, loving inner guidance immediately shows up, providing the most vital information and insights we were most needing to have. Discovering how to live in a constant, reverent communion with the sacred womb within is the most solid spiritual foundation that we can relax our entire lives into. There is nothing more reliable, since the cosmic womb is always there, always ready to be received, and always creating the deepest possible transformation within us. When we surrender deeply to this life, we discover our own personal relationship and intimate connection with this deepest experience of reality. And to prove that it is real, we are given the gift of effortlessly finding total mastery over our minds, peace with every emotion we have, a profound unity with our own consciousness, and thus total mastery of our lives. When we go through this life, the interesting thing is that the majority of us are mastered by the life instead of us mastering the life. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. You're this ultimate mischief and brilliance. All the wisdom, compassion, and treasure is within. So where are you going to hide it? I find it such a surprise to notice that who we are is the pulsing heart of the emptiness, the mountain strength of the vastness, Pamela Wilson. The East have known about this purely empty state for thousands of years, and they called it shunyata. It means pure emptiness. Yet in a positive sense, not like the negative interpretation that's cast upon being empty in the West. Since the Western mind is more focused on materialism, productivity, and achieving things in the outer world, emptiness would seem like a negative experience for the traditionally conditioned Western mind. Because the Eastern mind sees all matter as illusory, transitory, here today, gone tomorrow. Then that which is void of matter, purely empty of thought, is understood to be our closest connection to our divine spiritual nature and ultimate foundation. Discovering 100% reliable spiritual foundation is the most colossal gift we could ever give ourselves. Finding that which never changes is always permanent, always reliable, eternal, indestructible, and absolutely free simply sets the mind at ease. It allows our souls to rest in our bodies, to experience the feeling that we can be at home here and now, no matter what seems to be happening in the outer world. The cosmic womb is the great doorway to our highest freedom and the full realization of our unbounded spiritual nature. It is our essential entry point for how we can instantly reclaim our real spirituality, which in turn initiates a complete mind and body healing and permanent access to the state of unlimited potentiality. Just a few seconds in the womb, we immediately experience heaven is within. We encounter a timelessness, an infinite spaciousness inside that opens a purely awakened mind, unstoppable energy, and infinite love within ourselves. We discover we are already spiritual beings at the core of every moment. We experience our spiritual indestructible essence is always here, always now, and always available. Right now, you have the small light of the ego to help you to see, to grow, to find your way, and you are afraid to extinguish it. Then you will fall into utter darkness for a time while the dark night of the soul. In a dark night, even a glowworm is quite a hope that light exists. Oh, the cosmic womb inside you right now, in this very moment, is easy to discover. In fact, it takes zero effort and energy to realize it is here. The more the mind efforts to try to find it, the more elusive the womb becomes. Your cosmic womb can only be found through a deep relaxation into your consciousness. It is not something experienced when we are unconscious, half-conscious, or operating in automatic habits of the mind. The womb is only found when the mind is not there, when we are free from all the demands and desires of the ego. Only then can we fully relax, remove all our masks, and happily reveal the amazing enlightened being we truly are. Your cosmic womb is found through a constant experience of receptivity and surrender. When we can become supremely unguarded, free from any need or agenda, only then are we fully receptive and the God source instantly enters us. We must choose to surrender completely to the totality of our existence, to all our problems and their solutions, letting everything release. In this great letting go, all the answers to life's greatest questions seem to be painted in perfect pictures on the womb's vast, infinite, holy blackboard. This grand emptiness is so profound that the infinite creative source has no other choice than to draw out all the answers for you. The power in the womb is so intoxicating and liberating that all your pains and personal issues are orgasmically taken over by the divine. The womb awakens us instantly, points us back to the most radical essence of what and who we truly are, and gives us exactly what we are most needing to experience. To initiate the process of discovering our inner cosmic womb, start with being more allowing, welcoming, receptive, and expansive in your thinking than normal. A good exercise is welcoming each experience of this life and its opposite, meaning welcome in the pain and the pleasure, the joy and the sadness, the frustration and the ecstasy, etc. The cosmic womb is already allowing all the good and bad experiences in this world to play out on its universal blackboard without discrimination or judgment. It is simply allowing for everything, including the mind, and its various states of consciousness to unfold as they will. Be like this cosmic blackboard, allowing for all. The very instant we welcome our totality, the dark and the light, we become 100% present to this present moment. And the most amazing discoveries are found. Each moment becomes another epiphany and a holy experience to be revealed. We find every day is a great gateway to absolute creativity, expanded love, and a higher state of consciousness. Through welcoming all good and bad experiences, we can allow this unlimited God source of energy to freely enter our lives. It's good to know that everyone is going to be reflecting back to you where you are. This world will be mirroring those good and bad parts of yourself that you might not be aware of. If you are feeling stuck in a relationship, trapped in a job, powerless in a financial situation, or simply inadequate in your life, you are not feeling into the full contraction and expansion of your own consciousness. Let go of this clinging or resisting either side, and let this grand pendulum swing. If you are welcoming everything on the outside and the inside, you cannot and will not miss the cosmic womb. The good news is this universe already always loves you. It's perpetually sending you wake-up calls, trying to pour its greatness, its sweet healing love and wild ecstasy into you. Are you ready for this? Can you handle a cosmic state of ecstasy? Then become ridiculously receptive to every experience in this life. Again, become like the most beautiful feminine flower, tasting the fresh morning rays of sunlight dancing on your skin. God must enter you here. It has no other choice. It must surrender to you if you allow for it to enter you. Simply open yourself up to all of existence. This is the most effortless and easy way to realize and experience your own divinity. The ego functions like a blindfold on your eye. The sun rises and you remain in darkness. The music goes on, but you don't hear a thing. You live in the ocean of love, but nothing is felt. With the ego, you remain like a dying tree, uprooted. Then life looks like this long, drawn-out tragedy. The whole thing seems to be so ridiculously meaningless, and consciousness seems to be something irrelevant and accidental. Okay. One last word of advice on your journey into the womb. It is a glorious and ferocious ride, and nothing short of that. The mind will have a tendency to try to remain in control, to dictate reality, and micromanage your destiny. This is a very old habit which is not going to let go easily. It's going to try to make you believe it is better not to surrender to existence. It feels a desperate need for protection, safety, and security. It tends to live life from a place of fear rather than freedom, love, or ecstasy. Just know that any time you are not feeling free, your mind has taken over, has forgotten the cosmic womb, is here to liberate you, and is desperately trying to escape from some illusionary prison it's caught in. The great spiritual setup here is that our souls actually have committed for millions of mind games that believe we are imprisoned so that we can break free and believe we are free. We want to experience it all and will settle for nothing less. Any attempt to be in total control of the game is pointless and throws our bodies into a state of contraction. Just understand that your mind is stuck in the habit of constantly attempting to find freedom from an illusionary prison that it created. And all the answers and real goodies you're seeking are inside this jail cell. There is no need to escape from it. And when you realize this, the bars and the walls suddenly dissolve. Any seeking for freedom, love, or enlightenment in another person, spiritual text, or concept is inherently coming from the feeling of missing out on this divine spiritual womb-like connection within ourselves. There is no greater guru than trusting your life and the wisdom in your heart. Realize this deeply and completely. This mind of yours is the only thing blocking you from experiencing this divine God source connection. No matter how sacred the mind is, it is still in your way. The mind has you fooled, trying to achieve some personal private goal out there, rushing around as if your soul didn't have an eternity of time ahead of you. Be careful of the mind. It acts much like a locomotive, coal-burning train that has been hurling down the same old tracks for years and years and years. It's never stopped. It doesn't know how to stop, or at least consciously. Of course, the mind may pause for the occasional red light along the way, yet for it to come to a full, complete halt and turn off its engines, whistles, backup motors is unheard of. If we ever want to discover the divine womb and the greatest mystery of this life within ourselves, we must choose to abandon this suicidal train for good. We must choose to leap far from these old tracks, hurl ourselves into the unknown. It is here that we will find the soft green grass catches our fall, where we can lay the mind down gently to rest. As we bask in the golden sunset beyond the fields, making mad, passionate love with God behind the world's closed eyes. This whole journey that all of us are on, and there really isn't any really exceptions. There's no some are, some aren't. We are all, every one of us, on this journey. This journey is endless. You know, we learn as we go. It isn't a race. We will all get there. And as we discover, as we go along, that you're the champion, you're the master, you're the commander, you're the orchestrator, you're the creator, you're the developer, you're the architect of your life, of your existence. So see, it isn't something out there. It's all contained within each and every single one of us. And either we discover it this lifetime or the next 1,000 lifetimes, we will discover it. It just depends on you. Nobody else, just you. You don't, it isn't where you have to become some guru at the top of a mountain to know this. You know it through your heart mind. You feel it. It's there. And it's a choice. We each make the choice. We either, stay in the mind, or we leave the mind. It's like Sidney Harris said one time, the time to relax is when you don't have time for it. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. Everybody talks about this 5D consciousness. It's a kind of a process of peeling back the many layers of our ego to experience our true radiant selves. To drop into this enlightened state right now takes absolute, total surrender to what is. This begins with letting go of all efforts to get somewhere better than here now and start opening up and playing with life like a curious kid again. What is here now, right now, is the God source. What could be better than that? Being aware of the totality and perfection of this moment will bring you closer to 5D awareness instantly. We already have unlimited potentiality, endless energy resources, and an exquisite imagination available to us on the inside. This is all about learning how to use it. Let your mind be free from all of its apparent limitations. Only then can we know true freedom and know what it's like to be the masters of our minds. The greatest cosmic joke of all is that on a deeper level, our true spiritual presence is already abiding in the enlightened state. This is who we really are. When the mind is silent and still, we are already free from our all imaginary suffering. Now, we may leave this experience of suffering at any time by simply quieting our mind's chatter. And how do we do that? We move into the now. We focus on our breath. We already have the pass to get out of jail. Just free your mind from all attachment to desire. This doesn't mean that you have to give up desiring. It simply means letting go of your attachment to getting whatever you think is going to make you become permanently happy, fulfilled, or free. Through letting go of attachment, and the entire universe becomes yours. The way to 5D, the path, is through allowing this all-loving, accepting, divine, sensual energy to take you in. You don't have to take it. Let it take you. Surrender to it. Allow the people of this planet to love you, care for you, and cradle you like a baby. Relax. Let yourself be supported by your majesty. Because remember, we manifest everything that occurs in our lives. The interesting thing is that subconsciously or unconsciously, those are the manifestations that we aren't aware of, but we're doing them. We all have the power inside us to let go of whatever we are clinging to that is perpetuating the suffering. Don't be afraid to be unattached to anything. Spend your time welcoming this magical freedom into your life. This timelessness, this spacious existence is so liberating. 5D awareness will happen when all attachment to the material world has resigned. This ego of yours is here for one purpose: to melt into the ocean of existence. So dissolve surrender. Be this living state of bliss, and you will transcend any block that comes your way. This is enlightenment. Whole rivers of thought merged with the ocean of existence. This is the nature, the flow of life, and our true awakening mission. Obstacles are those fruitful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Hannah Moore. We are here to have a more enjoyable experience of being human. Breathe, relax, and accept the playful freedom that is available here, now. Play while you're still young at heart. Let go and explore. Imagine this freedom is yours now. You can taste it. Aren't you tired of clinging to these old illusions that make you feel you're separate from an infinite loving source? Choose to be free from your suffering. Just commit to that and play. Enlightenment is yours, guaranteed. Practice releasing attachment to all the countless thoughts running in circles in your mind right now. The golden key is to learn the quality of trust and surrender. Embrace, move through every imprisoned feeling that arises inside you throughout your day. Release it. Release it all. And relax into the oceanic experience of your being. Explore what it's like to truly let go of everything and just be. And believe it or not, letting go is easier than you think. It's absolutely easy and effortless. It's always your mind and ego who are holding on to suffering. Simply experience this moment. Drop any clinging you have to it. As you continuously rest deeper into the quiet, peaceful, still center in the heart of your being, you will eventually awaken to the divine being you truly are. The longer you can abide in this center, the faster you'll find yourself manifesting a rich life, full of depth, meaning, clarity, love, and abundant with bliss. Now to be really moved into the 5D state. The 5D state of consciousness. You can practice these for the next 21 days. Release all concern for others' opinions of you, especially family, friends, co-workers, and people you do not even know. So you are 100% free to speak your greatest truth at any moment of your life. Send love towards every person, place, or thing, cars, houses, food, every person you see. Give love everywhere you go by opening your heart when you consciously see anything. Be totally honest and true to your every word. Follow through with what you say you are going to do. Be totally honest and true to your every word. Follow through with what you say you are going to do. Always turn your attention to being conscious, present, and welcoming this experience of your life right now. Choose to connect with the entire infinite universe every day by being very still and meditating from the ever-present pure awareness inside you now. These are 5 practices that you practice every day for 21 days. And it will give you the full opportunity to live the life of your dreams. And we all deserve the best of everything. We spend a lot of time out there, right? And most of us we're mastered by the mind and the ego. And that's not a bad thing, it's not negative. But we're mastered by the mind and the ego. And as long as we allow the mind and the ego to master us, we will suffer. Nothing ever matters so much that we should throw ourselves into a state of panic about it. No happening is so important that we should let ourselves be exiled from inner peace and mental calm for its sake. Paul Brown. When we live outside of ourselves, we